This is going to be a how-to video on how to look up parts for different pieces of equipment that you may have around your house, such as lawn mowers, weed whackers, leaf blowers, things like that. In my current case, right now, I have an issue with my riding lawnmower, which is a Craftsman LT1000. The issue that I'm having, and I'll have a different video on YouTube on the actual fix. This is just how to look up parts right now for that fix. The issue I'm having, though, is that whenever I'm mowing, I have a manual PTO engage where I have to manually push the handle up to engage the blades. Once engaged, whenever I go to disengage the blades, they're not disengaging. So I have a couple things going on right now that I was able to figure out. So this video is going to show how to look up parts. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about what I have going on first, though, so you can kind of see like a real example. Now, the issue that I'm having, the first part of the issue is the idler pulley arm on the mowing deck, which is this piece right here. There's a section on that arm that over time developed a little divot, and that's part of what's currently catching, and that's part of my current issue. Okay, so this is the deck that I have. This is a picture of it. So right here, you can see that little divot. So that's part of the issue that I'm having, and that developed over time. The other issue that I'm having that I think was caused from that holding up and just from time and grass and wear and tear is the idler spring broke, which is what's circled right there. While investigating what was going on, I also noticed that both of my idler pulleys, which are these two pulleys right here, had bearings in them that were pretty much shot. So I'm also going to be getting new idler pulleys. And the last thing that I'm going to get while I'm ordering parts for this is this carriage bolt here for the one idler pulley. Now that has a hole at the top that a pin goes through, and that's actually what the cable connects to for the engaging part of the PTO. Okay, so those are the 5 things right now that I'm having issues with. Now, the actual idler pulley arm, I think I'm going to be able to fix that without replacing it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take that apart and actually grind that divot out, and I'm going to give that a try. But that's not what this video is about. So the other 4 things that I am going to order, this is how I was able to look them up online and basically find them. Okay, so under the seat of the tractor, and again, this is a Craftsman LT1000, there is a marker on there that shows me the model number and the serial number. So the model number is 917.272751, and then the serial number is below. Now, if you don't have this exact lawnmower, or if you're trying to find parts for something other than a lawnmower, that doesn't matter. If you're not sure how to find the model number and the serial number, you can either Google it, or there's plenty of YouTube videos that will show you where that is on the specific piece of equipment that you have. Now, one other thing I'll show you while I'm here, and again, this is something you can Google to find out, but on the serial number, the first 6 digits is actually the year that this mower was made. So 08 was the month, 01 was the day, and 03 was the year. So August 1st, 2003, that was the year that was made. That's something that's good to know, maybe if you're looking at used equipment and you're trying to figure out how old it may be whenever you're looking. There's several different websites you can use to look up parts. I'm always working on different things as kind of a side hobby, side hustle, whatever you want to call it. So I do this quite often, and that's how I've kind of learned how to do this. The first website that I typically prefer to go to is Jack's Small Engines. But as I'm going to tell you here in a minute, this process can be a little bit of trial and error. I tend to work on things that are a little bit older. Jack's Small Engine can be a little bit hit or miss. For instance, in this situation, I would have loved to have used them for these parts, but I tried searching the model number 917-272-751. I tried searching that a couple different ways. I also tried looking up LT1000, and I actually just didn't really trust the results that I was getting. As you can see here, some different Husqvarna things came up. But what I am going to show you here, and you'll see the difference here in a minute, I think this website or this site is a lot more interactive than some of the other ones. It's just easier to use. And, this is why. So when you come to the different parts pages, which you'll see more of in a minute, and you click on a part, so I'm going to click on 37 right here. What I like about Jack's Small Engine is it doesn't make you go to any additional pages, and then from there, it will show you the part. Now, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll take that part number and I'll copy and paste it, and then I'll search it in Google, and I'll kind of compare the price. So this is not the part that I'm after right now, but as you can see, it's $8.79. If that was the part, I probably would price check it. Since Jack's Small Engine did not work out, usually the next thing that I do is I just pull up Google and I type in the model number, or if I already know the part number, I type that in. In this case, I did try a couple other websites, and I reluctantly came to Sears Parts Direct. I say reluctantly because I usually don't like going directly to the manufacturer page. It may be me, but I think a lot of times you pay more money when you go straight to that manufacturer. I think there's good aftermarket options available. Okay, so we're in the page right now, and as you can see, you always want to kind of verify you're looking at the right thing. So our model number was 917-272751. Okay, so we're under the correct machine. All right, now what we're going to do first, and I recommend on a site like this where you do have to kind of go look for the parts after you look at the diagram, get a piece of paper and a pencil, and then scroll down through the options until you find the section of the machine that you're looking for. So in this case, we're looking for the mower deck, so we're going to click on that, and then we're going to click into the picture. So in this case, we're going to have to click expand diagram. Okay. Now, the first part there, you can see how this is blown up. When you're using some of these different websites or apps or whatever they are, it's a little bit of trial and error. Sometimes you have to use two fingers to kind of scroll around. Sometimes one finger will work. Right now I'm on a phone, so on a computer it's a little bit different too. So the first thing that we did pop up that I said I was going to fix is right there in the center of the screen, number 55. That's the idler pulley arm. In my case, I'm not going to be buying that. Right now, I'm just going to try to fix that. One of the first parts that I am after right now is one of the two idler pulleys. Now, it helps if you took a picture of the machine or you're looking at it right in front of you, but I know that this idler pulley is the correct one because I also see that carriage bolt coming up through the idler pulley arm, and then you can see some different accessories and the pulley itself. So the first pulley that I need is 145 on the diagram here. And also, while we're looking at the same area, I'm also going to replace 146, which is that carriage bolt. So I did notice some wear and tear on that carriage bolt, and I figure if I'm taking the pulley apart, I might as well just replace the bolt too. And I'll show you a close-up of that bolt, and you'll see why it's special. Okay, the next thing that I'm after is the idler pulley spring, which is 148. Okay, that was the spring that was broken that pulls that idler pulley arm back. And the last one that I'm after is number 36. So that's the idler pulley on the other side. Slightly different than the first idler pulley that we looked at. Okay, so what I've done, I've wrote down these numbers on a piece of paper, and I'm not going to sift through all of these. This site, I could not figure out how to basically filter through these faster, which is usually the case for me. And like I said, a lot of times that's why I prefer Jack's small engine, at least for initially looking up part numbers. But as I said, you know, in this case, I don't know if Jack's small engine just doesn't carry those parts. Even if you are finding the right model number, on some of these different sites, you may find parts that they don't sell anymore. And if you go to another site, they do still sell them. Okay, so the first thing that I saw here when I'm scrolling is 148. That is that blade idler spring. So we're going to click on that. And so this is the part that I'm after. As you can see, it's $275. Like I was saying earlier, a lot of times what I will do as I'm sifting through these is I'll copy and paste the part number. And so Jack's small engine does sell this. A lot of these parts are interchangeable on different machines, so they still have a machine that sells that part. But you can see it's $269 on Jack's small engine. And on Sears Direct, it's $275. Okay. Or I'm sorry, it's $296 on Jack's small engine, $275 on Sears. My fault. So in this case, this is the better price. It's obviously a cheap part, so I'm not going to look too much further. Okay, what I've done off camera is I've just gone through and I did the same thing. I just kept scrolling down through the list. It wasn't in any kind of order. And I basically found all my parts and just added them to the cart. Okay, this is that carriage bolt that I was talking about. And like I said, why it's kind of a special bolt. Just at the top there, it's drilled out for that pinhole. I'm sure I probably could go to a hardware store and figure out something that would work. But in this case, you know, I prefer to just get the actual part. Okay, the rest of this should be pretty self-explanatory no matter what site you go to. Obviously, next you're just going to continue through your checkout. I hope this video was helpful. If you do have any questions, please leave them in a comment bar. Thanks for watching, though. If you did like this video and you want to like and subscribe, it's appreciated. And stay tuned for future content. Like I said earlier, I will have a different video on the actual fix, which will be a video of me working on it and not just a video of me scrolling through my phone. All right, thank you.